So I was wanting to record because I was finally going to celebrate my birthday. I always think of birthdays, as I said before, more for the mother. And being born to me was always a struggle. You look up April 19th in the history books, it's the day of doom. So many things happened, as in like the Oklahoma City bombing. April 19th is a bad day. And then when I found the paperwork to find out that my own birth mother didn't know when I was born, she had put April 18th. In fact, she married her husband she's married to now on April 18th. I don't understand. I went for the search numerous times. I entered my information into the database in 1996. The funny thing is when I met her, she knew I was searching for her. How does someone do that? She knew that I was searching, and I guess she didn't want to be found, which probably equals up to the fact that to this day she won't talk to me. But let me go back onto my story. So maybe, just maybe, we can all understand why. Because to this day, I still don't. I said that I wanted my celebration of life, that being born an illegitimate child with the name of a dead grandmother who committed suicide. I took a journey in 2013 to find out my family history. My name, it always bothered me. It is a beautiful name, Genevieve. But my parents changed it to Christina. And so it goes. My identity seems so false to me. So I embarked on a force that had plagued me since birth. Most people I meet that are adopted always seem to be given away at birth. Not that it's easier for them, but somehow I thought my story was different. Because my birth mother kept me. Until someone called social services and told them I wasn't being cared for properly. When the social worker arrived, she didn't see anything wrong with the care I was being given. A day later, she called Norfolk Social Services and told them that she didn't think she could care for me properly. So they came to take me away. They placed me in foster care. From the time I was old enough, my brother and I always knew we were adopted. He's 4 years older than me. He came before me. From a mother who supposedly cheated on her husband while he was out to sea, and she already had 3 sons. My brother was adopted by my parents at 3 months old. His name was Jonathan and was changed to Brian. He looks like a Brian. Funny, thinking about our childhood years, I was always on a grand adventure of running away to find my real mother. At least that's what I would say. I ran away the first time at 8 years old. Needless to say, we made it all the way down Little Creek Road to the old Zayres and Roosevelt Shopping Center. So we called my grandma, who came and got us. But I kept running my whole life because I thought I didn't fit in with my family. I was always looking for something why I didn't fit in or why I couldn't be what my adopted parents wanted me to be. My brother never cared. He never acted differently. He was the world's best son. Sports, good grades, good looks. Like I tell people, he got braces and I got rehab. Adoption records are closed in the state of Virginia. They only give you the non-identifying information, mother's age, hair color, eye color, height, weight, occupation, and so on. You do get the original birth certificate, but also those names are scratched out, or in the first documents my parents received, they took the time to cut out any information on anything to lead me to the people who were a part of me. So when Norfolk Social Services started their searches, I think the first time was in 1996, I jumped to the chance to find my birthright. They could find nothing. I entered every database I could find on the internet. Still nothing. They could find nothing. Not one thing, nor one person who knew anything about me. They didn't give me names or anything. They contact the birth family and ask them first. If they say yes, they want to meet you, then they go ahead and set it up. To me, that's fucked up, because you're a dirty little secret that might fuck up their self-image of what they've become. My brother did the search also. His birth mother did not want to meet him, but sent them her family medical history. That enrages me. Look, she owes him her story. Her sons have a right to know they have a brother, what she looks like. But all he did was just take what was offered, not me. I tried again in 2013. I walked into the office and met with a young woman who listened to my story and reopened my case. 2 weeks later, she called me to let me know my paperwork from Richmond had arrived and I could pick it up. I remember that day so well. I dressed in all white. I stopped by Mystic Moon first to get some strength, and then picked up my paperwork. I sat in my car and cried, reading everything. The social worker had marked through with black ink, but not everything. I finally had more information. I had names. I thought I had found the jackpot. I worked day and night looking through everything I could find. I went to records in downtown Norfolk. I had found the court docket in 1979 when my parents adopted me, but nothing else. I found out her alias of a name was Elaine Kahn from Moss Point, Mississippi. I must have called over 100 Kahns. I still have the book of each name written down with their number. Always having to explain the story. I found one Elaine Kahn who died of a drug overdose. I thought, oh my God, it can't end like this. But the date of this lady's death didn't match up. I'd hit a dead end. Even my caseworker couldn't find a lead. So I started on my father's name, Calvert Moore Hunt. Now, Calvert Moore Hunt is a very rare name indeed. In fact, so rare there's only 3 that I could find. I searched and searched until my caseworker called me and told me they found him in Canada, but he did not wish to speak to me at that time. I was pissed, heartbroken, and fed the fuck up. So I started to find out more about this man, since he was from here. As we started to dig, I found his mother. She was alive and lived in South Norfolk. I got into my car and I drove to this lady's house. As I pulled up, trying to muster every piece of courage I had, I see her walk outside. Now, you guys know me and what I look like, right? I walked up to this old lady and explained everything. She just stared at me, waiting and listening. I told her I have all the paperwork and I'm not crazy, and she just kept staring. I told her about her son not wanting to see me, and I just wanted to know what he looked like. If you can believe this, she invited me in, gave me a picture. We became close friends. She was amazing. She collected Madonnas. Later on, when she talked to Calvert, he said he would talk to me if he thought I was his, but he didn't think I was. He said he picked up my mother in Texas while he was working on a shrimp boat, and he was on his way back home to Virginia. He said he only signed the papers because she asked him to. It was a crushing blow. As I was leaving, my social worker called again to tell me that she still couldn't find Elaine Kahn. So I told her about me finding Calvert's mother and that I was at her house. She was shocked. I told her I just needed the address that she blacked out, that my mother had wrote down as a forwarding address. I went to explain everything in detail, everything that I had found out, everything that I had done. That the only missing piece I needed. She told me that the house was no longer there. I told her I didn't care. That I had all the phone registries. I called the library in Pascagoula, Mississippi. The lady faxed and scanned them and sent them to me from 1975 to 1980. I think she felt sorry for me. She gave me the address, 811 Davis Street, Moss Point, Mississippi. The skies opened, and I went home to search some more. When I searched and put that address in, my great aunt Velma had posted something on Ancestry.com looking for the Allen kids, 811 Davis Street, Moss Point, Mississippi. Now, my birth mother had written into that non-identifying paperwork about her sister and brother, Carla and Tommy Allen. Now, she said her name was Elaine Sissy Kahn. Carla and Tommy and Sissy were the ones my great aunt Velma was looking for. We emailed her. I found her. Searching for Elaine Sissy Kahn, a 21-year-old woman, was all a lie. She wasn't 21. She was 17. Just turned 17. And her name is not Elaine Sissy Kahn. She took the form of a dead person when she ran away from her grandparents. Now, the story that she tells in the paperwork is true. Her mother did commit suicide. Her father died when she was 8 years old. He fell from a fishing boat. 2 to 3 years later, her mother had remarried and overdosed. I know she had a hard life. And her story always made me want to find her, to tell her that I was okay. That if she thought that I hated her, she was wrong. But your whole life, when you know that you are adopted, you always want to know what you look like, who you favor. You always want to know why I wasn't kept. What was wrong with me? Why was I tossed to the side? When we Googled the real name of Bernice Gay Sissy Allen, my friend found her first. Her picture was on Facebook. When I say that I am the spitting image of her, it's like looking into a mirror. A very scary thing for your whole life never to know who you look like, only to see that you are the identical twin of your mother. I found out where she worked, but she had no longer worked there, so I made up some lie until a woman got on the phone who supposedly was her friend and knew that she didn't have a daughter, only one son, Leo. So I told her I cut the shit, and that if she was a true friend, she would call Gay up and give her my phone number and let her know I've been looking for her, which she did. I got a call. I couldn't understand a word she said. So, I told her in 3 days I'd be there. 3 days, I will make the drive to come see you. And she didn't act like she was happy about it. I'm not sure what she wanted me to do, how to feel, what to talk about. I'm not even sure for most people that they know what to do in a situation like that. As I tell people all the time, I wasn't given away at birth. My mother created a bond with me, so much so that when my mother found out her name was Sissy, she was in shock. My first words were Dissy. Dissy Dawn, I am a little brat, is what they taught me. Not in a bad way. I love my parents, and I've come to realize that they are my parents. DNA or blood has nothing to do, as I've told you before, with family. Why I'm telling you all this is I thought I wanted to celebrate my birthday, but now I don't wish to. Because even though I can repress what I found out since 2013, my entire life is completely fucked. Now that I'm actually standing, I wanted to celebrate it but a birthday is still for their mother. And for some reason, my biological mother won't even talk to me. As if I did something wrong.